Djlovedrop here. I'm here to make my final guide on the Great Weapon Fighter. I'm going to talk about my character, my feats are, my powers, my companion. I'm going to talk about everything you need to know for endgame, end result, PvE guide. To start it off, we're going to go over the gear. What you want for your gear exactly is the avatar set. You want all 4 pieces. Reason for it, the 2 set and the 4 set are really good. 2 set gives you 450 crit, and your 4 set, every time you hit 3 targets or more with your encounters, you get 1350 recovery and power. It only lasts 4 seconds, but it's up almost probably 80 to 90% of the fight if you do it correctly, which is legitimately probably really strong and kind of maybe needs a little nerf. But till then, we're good. For the sockets in those gear, for utility, you're going to want Dark Enchantment for the movement, so you can get in and out of fights, because we don't have a dodge, we have to sprint out. Armor socket, you're definitely going to want Soul Forge, just so you can go immune if you go under percent. Like, what I do is, if we don't have a Guardian Fighter, which is rare when I'm in the group, I just run in there, I start attacking, and I get really low, and sometimes I get too low where armor comes in and I don't die. I think I've had this thing save my life probably over 200 times. It's a huge enchantment, you definitely want it. I wouldn't go anything above Soul Forge unless you can get a greater one for cheap, or if you can just get it really easy. I want to try to buy them just to go higher. I would rather save my money to increase my other enchantments, not my Soul Forge. Then for your defense, you're going to want Azure, just so you can get the defense socket, and then you're going to increase your power with more armor, more defense. With weapon, you're definitely going to want Radiant for the power. More power, more damage, and then also you're going to want Greater Plague Fire to reduce the enemy's defense by 45% if you get the 3 stacks on them. Plus you have additional burn 2.5% of the weapon, and that stacks also with 3 times. What you're going to want also is everything socketed, especially the shirts. These are very important. Like the sockets alone gives me 185 defense and power. You're definitely going to, what I went for straight avatar set, and then on the left side I went for armor pen and crit, just so I can keep it up, because when you have 1350 recovery, it's going to be high enough where it's not going to make a huge difference after that, because once you get close to 3k it won't matter too much. The reason for it also is because I'm trying to get all the armor out of the way, trying to get everything out of the way so I do true damage, and I've seen a huge difference in notice in DPS. I probably gained almost 20% of DPS from my last gear to this one, which is ridiculously high. I have these rings. I haven't been able to replace them. If I do replace these rings, it will probably be the Ancient Slave Master control rings. I think that's what it's called exactly. It gives you power, crit, and recovery. Almost every single class wants them. I'd probably only replace these with those. I wouldn't have all my gear have recovery. I'm pretty sure that anything else I would change would just be my rings for that. Other than that, I wouldn't change it. Your companion, you're going to want for your companion, you're going to want a stone. As you can see, I'm leveling up my Ion Stone right now. But at the moment I have the cat, because this is what I had before this came out. What I have in it, I have 2 rank 7 power runes, which gives me 185 power. And then I have a rank 9 Eldritch, which gives me 9.5% of whatever the cat hounds. I actually get increased with that many too. So if it gives me, let's just say it gives me 100. If I get 100 of every single stat, I'm also going to get 9.5 of each stat because I have that enchantment. So I'm actually going to, it's actually boosted up a lot more. So if I have 1,000 of one stat, it's going to give me 95 extra. And then next rank it would give me 10%. I almost have the same neck piece, as you can tell. The only thing is 4 stats. That's the only difference. Also, if it's socketed, you also get the socket offensive power. It might not sometimes show, because sometimes it glitches a little bit, but it does add up a lot. I need a new belt, in my opinion. I really don't like this one, but I use it anyways. Then I also have the same ring again from my other 2 rings. After that, you want all of it socketed so you get the max stats. These aren't portrayed exactly because this isn't adding on to it. So I'm actually getting 950 plus 9.5%. It's pretty big. Like, look at this. I have 5,900 power. I dismiss it. 48. See how much my stats went down? It's a huge increase. Summon, and then my stats just went crazy high. Again, you're gonna want crit until about 33%. Still staying the same, almost. It's just a little bit different. You want crit, then power, max power, then after crit. Then you're going to try to get as much recovery as you can, because your recovery is going to also turn into armor pen, and I'll show you why. And then you're going to want defense also, as much as you can in there. Almost every single piece of gear has defense on it, so I don't have to worry about that, but you're just going to jump for defense. You're not going to jump anything for crit, armor, or recovery, just defense and power, and then utility for the movement speed, I believe, right here. Then you're going to go to powers. The main ones you want to make sure you have Destroyer, Mighty Leap, Not So Fast, Sure Strike, Slam, Bravery, Takedown, Roar, Weapon Master Strike, Flourish, Daring Shout, Steel Blitz, definitely Steel Blitz, and Weapon Master Strike, Steel Defense, Battle Fury, Punishing Charge, Domino Strike, Crescendo. These are the ones, everything I have 3 plus you're going to definitely want. The reason for Punishing Charge is sometimes it's really hard to keep up the stacks. So, I mean, there's some fights you might need to move a lot, because I know some fights I had to go on archers. I'm the only one on archers. So I actually use all movement. So I actually use Punishing Charge, I use Mighty Leap, and I have Bravery on. Like, it makes me move so much more faster to get to each of them. But that's mostly all the powers you want to focus on. For feats, it's pretty much the same, just a little different. You're going to want Unstoppable Action. You're going to want 3 out of 3 on Disciple Strength. You're going to want Endless Assault. Steely Defense. You're going to want 1 point of Weapon Master Strike for crit. And then you're going to want Devastating Critical. Again, if you're human, you're definitely going to want max this out. And then put 1 more point right here into Armor Specialization. And then when you look in here, you're going to want to make sure that you have Great Weapon Focus. You're going to want to have Deep Gash. Disciple of Warrior, this is what changed right here. This is one of the 2 things that changed, where your armor penetration is 25% equivalent to your recovery. So more recovery gives you more armor pen. Then you're going to skip these 2. You're going to go here again to Battle Awareness, where your slam increases your power by 25%. And then the last one, Destroyer's Purpose, where your determination is gained every time you do damage, and then now you're unstoppable. When you're unstoppable, your counters do 10% more damage. Then you're going to want Student of the Sword. Every stack 3 times gives negative 15% defense. This also stacks with Greater Plague Fire, so you do almost 90% just defense alone by yourself, which is huge. Then this is another thing that happens. Powerful Challenge, 15% more damage to marked targets. That's one other reason why you're going to want Daring Shout, just because it marks it for you, and if they're not attacking you, you can do more damage. With that being said, what you're going to want for just going through dungeons, and what you want on trash is definitely this build. You're going to want Destroyer, Steel Blitz, Not So Fast, Daring Shout, and Roar. Roar, I think the most Roar has ever given me is probably up to here, from empty to full, like right about here. It's 2 Roars and you're automatically full no matter what. I've seen Roar and then a Daring Shout, and I went from 0 to full, and then I activated Slam again, which then did a lot of AoE plus 25% more power. And then since I use this to get Determination, I also activated my 4 set, which then gave me 1300 extra power. My power went to like almost 10,000, 10 to 11,000, and I just started AoE and crit 5k each target. And then you think about 5k every target, you have 10 targets, that's 50k every swing from your first attack. And then remember, what Master Strike has a back attack, so you're doing almost 100k every single attack, which is like 100k DPS almost. It's just retardedly strong for AoE. For single target, what I would go is I would change Weapon Master Strike. I would definitely take Takedown. I would go down to Battle Strike, and I would use this. You want Steel Defense, Steel Blitz, just because you have a chance of activating an extra free attack. You're not attacking more than 3 targets, so Weapon Master Strike's way better because you'll at least get more crit. Takedown does an extreme amount of single target damage. You want Daring Shout still to mark targets, and then Battle Strike is an amazing single target damage. And then you're going to want to keep 1 stack of Weapon Master Strike, just because the damage resistance will go down my at-wills, and then you sure strike for like a whole combo, then one weapon max strike, then sure strike, rinse and repeat, and then add in these encounters. But that's mostly your single target. What you want to look for when you have roar, because roar is kind of iffy sometimes, because you push mobs away from you, which is really kind of not good if you're trying to AoE them. The best time to do it is when you have exactly a singularity down, two singularities if the two CWs are on the same page. Just so, because when they're about to get sucked out, the best time is push them because they're still going to come back to you. So you're really gaining free ability power to stack up. After you do that, you're definitely going to want to do Daring Shout while they're in the air, because they're still on the ground according to their hitbox, but they're in the air, so don't get confused by that. So definitely Daring Shout before the CWs knock them away, because that's probably the most annoying thing when you have this build, is when people are knocking them away and you use one of your abilities and then you got to wait 13 seconds to use it again to build ability power. The whole point in your rotation is to use all the AoE you can. When they're all grouped up, you want to use your encounters every 3 to 4 seconds so you can maximize your 4 set. You want to make sure that you can keep this 4 set as long as you can, because like right now in my recovery I reduced 10%. So when you get an extra 13, you're getting like 20%. So I'm probably going to have this one almost on like 11.5% cooldown, and these are all going to go down. So you want that exactly. When you AoE, you want to try to position yourself where you're in front of all the mobs. You want to make sure that your sword, because you have a huge hitbox with your sword, if you can see that, it's ranging from here all the way around to here. You have this huge hitbox you don't need to worry about. And if you hit him right here, your back dude is going to come over and hit this way then, and he's going to have this huge hitbox to hit. So you have this big hitbox you want to maximize with. With your ability score, I changed it. You're going to want it to look like this. This is exactly how you want your ability score to be. Maximize strength and defense. Gives you more crit and more power, more strength. But that's pretty self-explanatory. Make sure you get your Ion Stone for the power. Make sure you get your powers correct. Make sure you get your feats correct for the maximized damage. And you should see a huge increase of damage when you get everything set up. But that's mostly it. This is Djlovedrop on a server, on Dragon server. Have a good day.